Gabriela, if
Okay.
you go ahead.
Tell me.
Yes,
Okay.
just done it.
Okay. It's done.
Okay, nice. So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Raquel. I'm here representing Turismo Portugal, and I'll be presenting Unit 7, dedicated to slow food and cultural heritage. So I'll start to share my presentation. A couple of minutes for this to okay. So I'll be losing touch with your faces, but which is a downside of sharing this presentation. But I'm hoping to get some verbal interaction. So be prepared.
Yeah, I was switching off my camera also because, as Monica said yesterday, maybe it's better for you. So.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So I can start to share. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yes. Everybody's seeing. Everybody's hearing me.
Yes.
Everything is okay technically. Okay. Let's start.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead,
So
Raquel.
go ahead. Slow food and culture heritage, Unit 7. What we'll be talking about today, it's about the importance of food as a cultural identity element for communities living in several territories. And I won't be wasting much time with the competences and the knowledges we're supposed to convey through this presentation, because you'll be getting this presentation, and this could be later explored. But one thing I would like is for you to focus on these topics that we're going to go through, to see if in your mind they make sense, to see if you can really understand in the end of the presentation why food is such a important cultural element. So first topic, we'll be talking about the anthropology of food. We'll be talking about how food has been shaping who we are and will continue to do so. Food has been shaping who we are, how we present ourselves to the world, and the choices we make today will continue to influence future generations. So this is a fundamental point to understand the importance of food as an element of culture. Next, we'll be focusing on the variety introduction through geographical indication, because to protect cultural and genetic biodiversity of food, we need to find some mechanisms to preserve cultural diversity. And this can be a matter of place, a matter of space. Another way to see this problem is to protect cultural diversity through a lens of time. And then we'll be talking about the emerging of slow food, the culture and traditions related to the food sector. In order to incorporate all these values in our everyday life, we'll be talking about the Mediterranean diet approach as a model for sustainability, how we can introduce these values in our daily lives. And finally, a case study of the culinary tourism as an opportunity to promote local areas and economic growth as a way for not only food sustainability, but also regenerative tourism. So we'll start with a fundamental question. What is food and why do we eat? Have you thought about this? Well, I asked Mr. Google, and he showed me this picture. This is one of the first pictures that appear on Google when we search for food. But then we went to try to get a better perception what is food, and we asked the Cambridge Dictionary and the Oxford English Dictionary. So according to the Cambridge Dictionary, it's something that people and animals eat or plants absorb to keep them alive. According to the dictionary, the Oxford English Dictionary, it's a nutritious substance that people or animals eat or drink in order to maintain life and growth, nourishment and provisions. Well, so this is a kind of a limited notion of what food is. And if we talk about our needs as individuals, food appears right about here in the physiological needs. So the first thing people think about when they think about food is about physiological needs. They need air, water, food, shelter. But food is a lot more than that. Food can also satisfy your safety needs. Food, oops, sorry, this is not what I wanted. It's this one. Food can satisfy your safety needs when you feel you have safe food available to you. And its production, transformation, consumption is helping the industry and commerce to flourish. You have enough food to feel comfortable, but also it can fulfill your love and belonging needs when you identify yourself with food, or when food helps you to establish relationships with your friends or with your family, or when you want to show someone how your life is or how your community is, and you show it through food. But food can also, I'm sorry again, food can also fulfill your needs for esteem, for status, recognition, respect. When you try to improve your quality of life through food, through eating to have pleasure with your food, you are happy, you are curious, you are trying new foods, you are sharing what you know about food. And finally, your self-actualization, your desire to become the most that one can be. When you, for example, you dig deeper and you are interested about food and to know more about your cultural expression through food, you are proud of your origins, you are proud of the food of your community, and you learn about others through food. In fact, eating is the only activity that fuels not only your body, but also your Instagram feeds. We conclude that food, it's not something that you can, it's not, eating is not an act only you can do alone. It's also a social act. And then you must, it is important that you have this anthropological view on food. It's important to understand how we've become what we are today because of the food we eat. And there's two perspectives where we can analyze food as an element of culture. Some scientists analyze food nutritional anthropology. What is this? It's the study of the ways we gather, transform, consume, and dispose of food in order to get nutrients in a way that it impacts your physical well-being, but also eating and drinking in connection with other aspects of social life. And now we are talking about the anthropology of food. So I have a challenge here. We're going to take a time travel to see how we've evolved along our foodways. So what have we been eating and under what circumstances, and why we are how we are today because of food. So I'll be sharing another screen with you. I don't know if it's visible or not. Can you send me some feedback? Are you seeing the Human Evolution Interactive Timeline?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this Human Evolution Interactive Timeline, we have here climate fluctuations. We're not focusing on that. We have all these red lines represent the several species of not only humans, but hominidiums and primates, hominidiums, and humans through the last 7 million years, and some major milestones in human evolution. I'm going to magnify a bit this just to show you that if you see the little dots here, you can see that tools and food are represented here as major milestones. So what the way we have evolved also physically and mentally and socially, it's very much related to food and the tools we use to get our food. So I'll try to, I'm sorry, because this is not, I'm trying to erase it, but I can't. Let's see if I can do this. Yes, so it's here. So humans evolved from apes, as you know, and they've been essentially consuming vegetable foods. As nomads, they get their food by gathering and later by hunting and fishing. About 2 million years ago, which is right about here, we see the dawn of technology, the first instruments, very closely related to social practices like tool making, hunting, regarding food acquiring. So humans learned how to make these very primitive tools, and this helped them to not only consume to gather vegetable food, but also hunting and fishing. And this allowed consumption of animal protein, meat. And as we, as humans, have been able to consume meat, they have been able to reduce the amount of vegetable fiber, their intake of vegetable fiber. Their guts became smaller, and they had a lot more energy that they could focus on developing their brains. So we also have changed physically because of the food we have been able to consume. And now I have here something I would like to share with you, which is, this is Homo erectus, which appeared, Homo erectus, it's one of the first hominids that appeared after this dawn of technology, and hence it has already some physical characteristics, a larger brain, a smaller gut, that came from consuming meat. And I have here, I will share with you, but then I'll send the link in the chat also. This is the skull of an Homo erectus. This is one, and here you can see a reconstruction of this skull. I will send this to you by chat so you can see it for yourself. I don't know if I have to stop sharing to I think I have to stop sharing to send this one to you.
Yeah,
So
because if you share
Yeah.
the whole screen, you cannot see
Yeah.
the chat.
Yes, okay. So I'll send this to you, okay? Maybe I'll just send, I have 4 of them for you to see. So I'll send all the 4 now, okay? So as long as we're going to see the timeline, you can open these 2, okay? I think it's better. So this is Homo erectus, and this is Homo heidelbergensis. This one. And 2 more. Neanderthalensis. And finally, Homo sapiens. There you go. Now, I'll share again the presentation. And there you go. So let's back to our timeline. So this, we've been seeing that now we are somewhere over here, but fast forward a million years, we have the discovery of fire and cooking that brought another jump to human evolution. What has fire and cooking what does fire and cooking do to the way we eat and the way our bodies evolved? So proteins and fibers become a lot easier to digest if food is transformed and it is cooked. So we spent a lot less time digesting this food, but there's a lot of social processes that came with fire and cooking. A lot of different processes for hunting, for fishing, for transforming foods, for rituals around cooking, and food diversity and food-related social practices dependent much of the different regions where this happened. This happened everywhere around the world in lots of places, but different social habits, different social rituals, different social symbols were created because of these social practices around food. And so we have Homo heidelbergensis, which is the second one that I showed you. I'll show it here, and you can see their skull a bit better. It brought other transformations. So where is it? It's this friend here. It appeared in Europe, Asia, China. So you see in a lot of different places, this process, these social processes took place and originated different habits, different rituals, specific rituals to different regions. Fast forward a few million years, humans took another major turn with the invention of agriculture. Okay, so if initially we were nomads, when we started with the invention of agriculture and the domestication of animals, this transformed our bodies and our social practices. The plant and animal species were selected according to the environment of each region. So you have different cultures and in different places, chosen cultures, chosen animals to breed and to consume. So food systems and food products became particular to regions and to certain communities. And so did the foodways. Each with their food habits, food beliefs, food symbols, and food etiquettes. You have here, with the appearing of agriculture and the domestication of animals, you have really different foodways and different cultures based on the way food was gathered, processed, consumed, and even disposed. If we see this nowadays. So this is the next skull you have. It's this one. It's Homo neanderthalensis. This is their recreated aspect. And finally, you have Homo sapiens. This is you. Back to our presentation. We have seen so that I think all of you know this sentence, right? You are what you eat. You are used to seeing in a lot of maybe paintings or representations this sentence represented. You are what you eat. But this anthropological view allows us to have a different twist on this phrase. You are not what you eat. You are not only what you eat now. You are physically, genetically, and socially the result of what your ancestors chose or could eat. Because Even your genetic composition right now depended on what your ancestors ate. For instance, communities that created cattle and drank milk, they are less prone to lactose intolerance. People who come from communities that didn't create cattle and didn't have milk, they are prone to being lactose intolerant, for instance. So what you are today depended on the region you existed, the food your ancestors ate, and their food waste. Fast forward again, we have the Industrial Revolution. And with the Industrial Revolution, we seem to have a lot of diversity. We enter in the supermarket and we have lots of different pastas and lots of different foods from lots of different origins. But in fact, we have been trading food diversity and food quality for food accessibility. Industrial Revolution, in fact, allowed to feed a lot of people. But there's a price to pay for that, because we are so much more detached from our food systems. In fact, we have very similar, each time more homogeneous transformation processes. And we have a lot of similar food species. We have been choosing determined species and we rely on them. We have been choosing determined processes for transforming, transporting, consuming food, and been relying on them. So we have been trading this accessibility for food diversity, and never has a loss of nutritional and cultural diversity seemed so diverse. We present all this diversity, but in fact we have been losing nutritional and cultural diversity in our food. So enter food anthropologists, the gatekeepers of food diversity. They speak of culture, attitudes, beliefs, practices that involve gathering, production, preparation, consumption, and disposal of food. How food reflects social issues and human behavior, like economy, like migration issues, like equity issues, food accessibility issues, and also how much our identity can be defined as a community by food, and how we can convey this identity to others. So protecting food diversity and quality is an issue we have to address. And this can be a matter of space or a matter of place. We have here two different pictures. Now I'm going to ask for your help, okay? We have here two different pictures, and these different pictures, one is real and one is AI generated. Can you tell me which is which? This is, I have to give you some information first, sorry. This is a soup. It's a soup with beans, potatoes, and pork meat. So which of these pictures do you think is real and which is AI generated? Anyone? Any brave volunteer?
I think the real one is the B.
Yes. Yeah. Any other opinions?
I agree.
Yeah, I agree also.
Yes, you are all right. I am very happy that you said that, because this is sopa de pedra. It's a Portuguese soup, and it has beans and potatoes and pork meat. So probably Africa would not be the most probable space that you encounter this soup. But it is not so easy to, if this soup would be in other settings, it would not so easy to see which was the real one and which was the AI generated. Sometimes we cannot, at the first sight, create an immediate link between food and its place of origin. And we must need some scheme, some way to guarantee that we are making this connection in some way. And then what we have here, it's the schemes for geographical indication. This is our second topic, variety and tradition through geographical indication. One way to protect food diversity in quality is these schemes for geographical indication. They are systems that protect essentially the name of the products that demonstrate a clear link with the production territory, either regarding the geographical origin, the origin of the products, or the traditional know-how, okay, carried by the community, and that is part of their food heritage. So you have several of them, and they all represent different specifications. Why are they so relevant? They really are very relevant because they function as product differentiators to the market and guarantee added value to the consumer, satisfying their physical, social, and intellectual needs. At the same time, they establish the intellectual property rights for specific products, which are important for trade operations. And then you have here at least three of them different. We'll see three of them. The protected designation of origin. It's the scheme, which the one that represents a stronger link to the place in which they are made, in which the product is made. It's applied to essentially food, agricultural products, and wines. And it means that this is like reading a label. Okay, this is a label, so we have to understand the label when we are seeing one. So every part of the production, processing, and preparation process must take place in a specific region. For wines, this means that the grapes have to come exclusively from the geographical area that the wine is made. This is mandatory for food and agricultural products and optional for wine. An example is Kalamata olive oil, PDO, protected designation of origin, which is entirely produced in the region of Kalamata in Greece using olive varieties from that area. Then we have here protected geographical indication. In this case, there's a relationship between the geographical region and the name, quality, reputation, or other characteristic of the product. It applies to food, agricultural products, and wine, and at least one of the stages of production, processing, or preparation takes place in the region. For wine, it means at least 85% of the grapes must come from that region. It is mandatory for food, agriculture products, optional for wines. And as an example, we have a ham that I cannot pronounce, and it's produced using old age techniques. But meat doesn't have to come exclusively from animals in that region. So in here, in this label, the focus is not only on the products coming from that specific region, but also the know-how for the production of the food product. And now I have a link I would like you to see. So I'll jump to here. Okay, this is Pastéis de Portugal, which is a small village here near Coimbra, where I am, and we'll see a small video. It's 3-minute video about how this is produced, and this is
We can't hear the voice, Raquel.
Yes, sorry.
There is music, there is a voiceover or not?
Yes.
Because we cannot hear. You have to share the audio as well.
Yes, but I think I did. I'll stop the sharing and I'll do it again. But I think I did share. Let me stop and let me share again. But I think I put them. No.
Or maybe because you were in your airport.
No, not necessarily.
I'll share again. I'll share again. I think it was what you said. It was the audio that was not
clicked. Yeah, you have to click.
I'll do it again. Yeah, I'll do it again.
It's okay.
You-
It's okay
Ah,
now.
okay.
Yeah,
That was
perfect
it.
now.
That was
Yeah,
it.
thank you very much.
Because I had I did that for the first time, but then I stopped sharing and I didn't do it the second time.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky. Yeah.
Uma das maravilhas da doçaria conventual portuguesa é o pastel de Tentugal. As finíssimas estaladiças folhas de massa e o distinto recheio de ovos fazem uma combinação única que tem de ser apreciada até à última migalha. Este delicioso doce é o testemunho vivo da história de Tentugal e de Monte Moro Velho.
Estou a amassar a massa, tem que ser amassada à mão. Esta massa é só com farinha e água, mais nada. Isto tem segredo. É o clima aqui do Mondego. Vão para outros lados e a massa não dá. Fazem umas massas muito grossas e não conseguem.
Diziam os poetas de Coimbra que esta massa só está perfeita quando, colocando por trás de uma folha de massa uma carta de amor, a conseguirmos ler integralmente.
O peso e a medida é as nossas mãos, é que dá se queremos fazer o bolo maior ou mais pequenino. Tem que ficar bem esticadinha e bem imposta, nem se pode ser muito seca, nem pode ser muito molhada, senão cola. Nem todas as pessoas conseguem fazer este processo, porque isto nem todas as pessoas têm um jeito. E não há máquina nenhuma que consiga fazer uma massa destas, em lado nenhum.
É preciso muita prática, muito tempo, porque não há máquinas, não há nada para ajudar quem está a trabalhar nisto. Tem que ser o tato e a vista.
Essas folhas assim redondinhas, que é o folhado, depois vai ser armado ali noutra sala com recheio de ovos. Um recheio de ovos, farinha e açúcar. Depois vai para ali e vai ser enrolado.
Mete-se aqui o folhado, depois cortamos assim à volta e metemos estes bocadinhos já ao meio para suporte do doce. Depois fecha-se o doce, enrola-se o pastel.
As freiras começaram a fazer o pastel Tentugal como remédio.
A anemia naquele tempo chamava-se fraqueza. E então, para os meninos que estavam em estado de fraqueza avançado, o remédio era os pastelinhos.
Então, 20 minutos depois estão prontos e estes devem estar à maneira de saírem.
É o doce mais pobre, o que leva menos elementos. A arte de os combinar, a arte de os manipular, é que faz que o produto final seja esta maravilha.
Okay, so I stopped the presentation. I would like you. I'm very partial to this sweets because I really like pastéis Tentugal, but I would like for you to see them some particular aspects. So let me try again. Do you see this? This is a very special practice because they put the dough in the center of the room and they do a dance. I can call it anything else. It's a dance to stretch the dough in a way that is absolutely almost transparent, and no machine can do this. There's no machine.
Yeah, that's really incredible. It's very impressive, this procedure.
It is wonderful, and this is a real reflection of how not only the products can be original from a territory, but also the cultural heritage, the know-how of all these processes that make these products unique. Okay, so you have something that I would like to really show you. Let me see if I can find it, because I didn't know if you saw it, but they use a feather, a real feather, to paint in a way the butter in the pastel. Like over here, I think it's this one.
Depois vai para ali.
No, it's okay. I won't show it, but they use the real feather because this has a reason. They use the feathers to for the layer of butter to be as thin as possible, or else the pastel won't be crunchy. Okay, so you have real thin layers of butter in between the dough. Here it is, the feather here. See, in order for them to have this crunchy aspect. See, it is wonderful, and it tastes wonderful too. I can assure you that. So let's continue. This is a protected designation of origin product, and then we also have protected geographical indication products. This the relationship, it's the same thing, but it is for wine. This is what the ones that we were seeing. Yes, geographical indication for spirit drinks. Here, the focus is on the relationship between the geographical region and the name, quality of reputation, or other characteristic of the products. This applies to spirit drinks. And in the specifications, as we are talking about drinks, at least one of the stages of distillation or preparation takes place in the region. It's not so much also the product, but the process also. It applies for all products, in this case, spirit drinks. And one example is the Irish whiskey that has to be distilled and matured in Ireland, in different parts of Ireland. Additionally, we have other labels, which are the traditional speciality guaranteed. It highlights the traditional aspects without being linked to a specific geographic area. It's used specifically against the process of falsification and misuse, but here it's not there's no focus on the origin of the products, but only on the traditional aspects of the process. It applies to food and agricultural products. It's mandatory for all the products. They have this label, and you have the example of a traditional beer obtained as spontaneous fermentation. The process is protected. Other schemes exist also, for instance, for mountain products, which are specific for products obtained in areas with difficult natural conditions. And it highlights the specificities of this product, in this case made in mountain areas where there's absolutely difficult natural conditions. It applies to agriculture and food products, and raw materials and animal feed come from mountain areas. In this case, for processed products, production should take place in such areas as well, and it obviously reports to food products from mountain farming. So with all of this, we must conclude that these certified products are a guarantee of valorization of food quality and diversity, are a tangible reflection of the different processes that occur in different geographic regions. As we saw before, as humans evolved in different geographical regions, their food ways are different. The way they process, consume, treat food, and the way they incorporate it in their culture is different. So maintaining this diversity is a matter of space, but this occurs over time. So maintaining this diversity is also a matter of time. You are, remember, the product of what our ancestors ate, what they could and what they chose to eat. And you are history in the making. You are continuing to do this. Today, you are choosing, what you eat. You are choosing your food ways. And you are making history for your children and grandchildren. And the aim is for food diversity and quality and food sustainability. What you do today will be what your children and grandchildren will call traditions and food ways. So we must keep that in mind. What is your choice? The red pill or the blue pill? The fast track or the slow approach? So time is of essence. And this brings us to slow food. I don't know if you know the slow food approach, but I'm going to share with you again a small video. So I won't be losing too much of your time in this. This is the Slow Food website. The Slow Food is a movement that, and an organization that was created opposing the fast food movement, more specifically at a demonstration that was planned for a planned location of a McDonald's in the Spanish Steps in Rome. You have here their history. I'm not going to obviously be telling the slow food movement history here, but you can check it later, okay? The important thing is that their goals and priorities are to counteract this fast lifestyle and to combat people's lack of interest in the food we eat. So their idea is to approach us again of our food systems and our food ways. This is their main goal, by preventing the disappearance of local food cultures and traditions. And here I must really make you think about this, because when we say protecting food diversity, that doesn't mean that the new ways to produce and consume food can appear. Protecting food culture means keeping the diversity. You keep diverse by keeping what exists and adding new ways to consume food. So this is the idea. It's not to stop innovation. It's not to stop evolution or progress. It's keeping food diversity. As in biology, you must keep food diversity in order to evolve. So this is their reason of being, their goal, their priorities, and they have. This is and this is their mantra, their philosophy. The slow food movement envisions a world where people can access and enjoy food that is good for them, good for who grows the food, and good for the planet. So good, clean, and fair food for all. They work in units, in communities, in small communities that can dedicate themselves to specific areas that are important for their own territory, because they have this general approach to good, clean, and fair access to food, but eventually there's specific areas in which each community decides to work on. So another small video, I hope.
Gardens no longer produce fruit and vegetables as they used to. Maybe it's because it's raining less and less. I read that this is related with the climate crisis. I found out that the way we eat is part of the problem, and that by choosing the food we eat, we can change this situation. I felt I should do something. How could I support the pathway to good, clean, and fair food for all? I started to talk about it with some friends, and we found Slow Food, a network of peasants, fishers, activists, producers, cooks, moving toward the same direction my friends and I really want. How could we be a part of this movement? I joined others to create a local group called Slow Food Community. You too can build a slow food community. It's simple. Bring together a group of around 10 people who care about their food and want to address a specific issue. Give your community a name that identifies the objective and the place where your community is active. Think about what you would like to do to improve the food system in your territory. Feel free to use all your creativity. Fill in the founding declaration in the Slow Food website. I thought we were alone in facing the problems of our community. Now I see that we can join forces, exchange ideas, and find solutions together. We are part of Slow Food Global Network of local communities. Each community is diverse, but connected all together around the world. We can't wait to have you as part of our network. Where are you? Take part in this.
So, this is the slow food approach. Let's get back to the presentation. This is the slow food approach. Their philosophy, it's for good quality, flavor, and healthy food, clean production that does not harm the environment, and fair access to consumers and fair condition to producers. But now I want your help. We have here a word cloud that I would like for you to complete if possible. And the question is, what does the Mediterranean diet mean to you? Because we now have to stop talking about it and incorporate these values of food diversity and food quality in our life. And a possible model is the Mediterranean diet. But what does this mean to you? This is what I want to know. So let me see if this is working. And if I'm getting some responses. Present. Territory, tradition. 4 responses. I need more responses than this. 2 words for the Mediterranean diet.
I don't know where
Taste.
to respond. I can't join now.
No, it's the QR code. You have to read the QR code or use the maybe I didn't no, but share you can.
Yeah, this is the point. If you could share the link
the
directly,
Menti. Yeah,
would be
the
better.
link for the Mentimeter. Yes,
much.
of course. Of course,
Yeah,
of course.
Thank you.
But Raquel, one question. This is the last part of the session, like the part that Gabriele used to do, or this is another?
No. This is mine. This is
okay.
Yes.
No,
so
we don't have quizzes today, Diana. It's just yeah.
Okay, so this will be like the last part, but
not last, not the end of the
No, I mean like the Mentimeter part, like the
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I think it's a last part, but it's done directly by Raquel.
Okay, like the interactive part, but this part for Raquel work. Okay.
Yes,
because I was a bit confused. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Territory, taste, health, culture, healthy again, cheese, wine, energy. I'm liking what I see. Keep answering. 32 answers. Nice. For 34. I don't know how many are here. 37.
It's 30 people.
30 people, okay. All grain. Nice. Seafood, plant-based. Balanced, local, olive oil, bread, energy. I like the energy one. territory, yes, of course. Pyramid, oh, we got the pyramid. Olives. Very well. I think I'm very happy and satisfied, and maybe I can continue with the presentation. Oh no, there's someone answering yet. Bread. Yes, bread couldn't be missed, right? Cultural tradition and biodiversity, all grain. Balance, let me see. Short chains, yes, of course. Cheese. Tradition, pyramid, energy, wine, health, healthy. Culture, of course. Vegetables, local, fruits. Very well. So I'll continue with the presentation. Thank you so much for your cooperation. That was very good. And of course, there is, in fact, a lot of models for social and environmental and economical sustainable diets. They can take many forms, but the Mediterranean diet, it's one of them. And it is so called because it encourages eating pattern and lifestyle of people living in countries around the Mediterranean Sea. And this is what I wanted to focus. It's not only the life pattern, it's also the lifestyle. And here we have some of the aspects that you mentioned. You mentioned the plant-based eating approach. You mentioned vegetables, fruits and nuts that the Mediterranean diet emphasizes. The whole grain, I saw that too on the word clouds. Legumes, I didn't say legumes, but they are a very important part. And obviously minimal processed, seasoned fresh, grown locally. I saw the short chains, the local part, the use of healthy fats. I saw the olive oils, yes, of course, and the smaller amount of dairies like yogurt and cheese, but cheese is very important in the Mediterranean diet, of course, fish and poultry, less red meat, a moderate consume of wine, which is permitted under the Mediterranean diet approach. I didn't saw that on our cloud, but also less refined and processed food, less sugary foods, and one important part. You mostly mentioned this part, but you have to mention this also. You, in fact, mentioned biodiversity. I saw it there. Seasonality. I also saw it there. Traditional and culture food, I saw it there also, but we have to focus also on a part that we don't see so often explored, which is the regular physical activity, the adequate rest, and the conviviality that food can allow us. Okay, this is an important part of the Mediterranean approach. So it's not only the 9 food categories, but also the lifestyle, the encouraging of using seasonal foods, with reduced packaging, reduced environmental costs, to promote the diversity of food consumption, healthy culinary techniques, reduction of food waste also, now very important, and the focus on community when eating. The foodways, the keeping of the food culture and the food cultural diversity. I have also here one thing that I think it's very, very interesting, which is this model of the double pyramid that compares, not compares, but it's a complementary view. The Mediterranean pyramid with the environmental impact. So according to the Barilla Center for Food and Nutrition Foundation, if you can establish sort of a correlation between the Mediterranean diet and the environment impact of foods. The more the foods that you consume more in the Mediterranean diet have a lower environmental impact. So there's a in theory, if you follow a Mediterranean diet, your diet will have less environmental impact. And finally, we can arrive to the point where we have tried to show you that you can incorporate such values in your life, the food quality, the preserving the cultural biodiversity. You can do this. You can try to incorporate this in your life through the Mediterranean diet model or another, but there is more potential for this. You have the case study of culinary tourism as an opportunity to promote local area and economical growth. In fact, your food is the reflection of space and time, what you chose, what your ancestors and you now choose to eat in your region over time. And that is very important to construct your identity, your cultural identity. And this opens an opportunity through culinary and wine tourism, because 25% of travel budget is for food and beverage, according to the World Food Travel Association. You have here a potential not only to build your identity, but to communicate your identity to others. And you are going to choose and manage the way in which you do that. So this can be a way for you to achieve not only food sustainability, but to contribute to regenerative tourism. These arches here represent management. You have to manage the way that food has been used to construct your identity, and you have to manage the way in which you want to communicate this identity through tourism in this case, in order to achieve your aim, which is food sustainability and regenerative tourism. So to promote a regenerative approach to your territory. And of course, there's always ups and downs in these processes. So in fact, the rise in revenue from culinary and wine tourism can be invested to boost profits for local shops, restaurants, hotels, and transportational services, and instills locals' cultural pride and help to lower unemployment rates. This is the upside. On the downside, and we can see this also in so many countries, if there's a lack of natural resources, these resources are allocated to tourism instead of for those living in the community. If this management is not done properly, it is a problem also. And the loss of cultural identity, because local economy transitions from a balanced view to only supporting the need of tourists, and the influx of tourists can drive up the prices of goods and services. So management is key in these processes, and the great opportunity here is to, through food on a plate, you can in fact make people see beyond the landscapes, beyond the processes, beyond to the landscapes, to the processes, to the people, to their culture. The idea is to fill the blank through the food that is put in your plate. And for this, I finish by just showing you a platform that you can use, which is Tourism for SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals through tourism. You can choose here whatever is your sustainable development goals which you want to analyze. Let's use, for instance, zero hunger, and then you can analyze it through a tourism point of view. Tourism can spur sustainable agriculture, promoting production, supplies to hotels, etc. And here you can see what is being done in the world through this, towards this goal through tourism. another great thing is that you can, let me see if I can show you just to finish, choose your approach. You can choose to see this as a traveler, as a public body, as an international organization, as a student, as a company, or as a donor. So if you open here, for instance, as a traveler, what can you do for zero hunger? And then you have a lot of recommendations that you can download here.
Very interesting. Can you share the link in chat,
yes, of course.
Raquel, please?
Yes, of course. This is, I'm sorry, I think I just, I'll do it. It's the SGD. It's here. Yeah, here it is. It's also in the presentation.
Okay, thank you.
I think I stopped sharing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And thank you, Raquel. It was super interesting. Bravo. Very beautiful journey through this food anthropology. So why food is so important to us in our culture, especially in our Mediterranean and Latin world. We know that is particularly important for us. It's not the same all over the world. So it was really beautiful and interesting.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here and to be able to convey this message to all of you.
So, Diana, you are muted. Maybe if you wanted to add something.
Yeah, I was talking. I didn't know I was muted. Sorry. Thank you very much, Raquel. It was very interesting, and
thank you.
I appreciate your effort for making this school presentation, and also the Mentimeter part. That this is like very, very difficult. So thank you all. I don't know if someone has any questions related to the session, or if someone want to add something. Or...
No, I just want to say thank you to Dr. Raquel, because it was an amazing presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Very interesting. So tomorrow it's Aesop on the floor.
It's Christina's
It's
turn.
Cristina, our Cristina presenting the last session. It's really a beautiful week, very passionate and very interesting.
I agree. And also remember everyone to send me the emails and the names of the students, as we can share all these school presentations and also the recorded sessions. And as Monica is saying, tomorrow is the last one, the last day, but hope to see you.
What a pity, because it was such a beautiful habit to meet you in the afternoon. So I will miss you on Friday, because we will not have a meeting to learn and know about new topics. So thank you very much.
I recommend everyone to check and revisit these presentations before your visit to Barcelona, because for sure we will prepare activities related with all these subjects. So hope to see you all there, most of you at least, and hope to see you tomorrow as well.
Yeah. So see you tomorrow. Have a nice evening.
Thank you very much.
Ciao.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Ciao.
Ciao.
Cristina, she was talking.